Very good morning to students. Today we are going to learn an open cost mining missionary part. Uh, there is a the robust mission in the world, I can say, that is a bucket wheel excavator. Most of the bucket wheel exclusive used for the lignite mines, in particular Live Lignite Corporation in Tamil Nadu and Gujarat also. This is a unique mission as compared to the other open cost mines. The formation of benches for exclusive think the mission is itself is a uniqueness. So let us details going on in coming slides. Around 46 minutes lecture, around 40 plus slides are there. Each one you have to elaborating accordingly. Now, right, this is a generally coal mines related picture. Right, coming to the here, you can observe here. My name is Karuna Kumar, HOD mining, missionary employed in surface mining is the topic. List the main parts, functions, and place of application of bucket wheel excavator is a today topic. The basic objective you are able to, after completion of these slides, you can able to understand and able to notes the main parts, functions, and place of applications of bucket wheel excavators. See that this is a robust mission, superstructure. The basic idea is that there is a not single buckets. They around the periphery of the wheel. They have the buckets. They are mentioned measured in the liters, 1400 meter liters and 750 liters. Like the buckets, number of buckets will be rotating against the bench. So automatically the teeth cut that material. The material will be centralized here. There is a types of cell type, non-cell type is there. So from here, the material will be transported through the conveyor belt to reach the other end of this. So this is the basic principle behind the bucket wheel excavator is concerned. See some more pictures, the coming slides. This is I could like to have some elaborating some extents to right. Okay. This is still surface arrangements and most popular figure, the bucket wheel excavator, while establishing up at the site. The view of bucket wheel excavator to observe the what are the out superstructure is there, how complexing environment you observe there. The choosing of the bench in readiness is very important, and moving of the vehicle to set up the situation. So this once you start the mission, the continuously huge amount of production will be starting from one end to another end. The bucket wheel excavator in operation. You see, this is also the conveyor continuous system. Once the material cut here, they will be through the superstructure and in one another end. They automatically there is a number of crushers is there. So the according requirement of the size of the belt conveyor again is to traveling from the middle of the site to the end of the handling system up to handling system. See this. This is a sand the OB. The OB removaling operation is going on here. Uh, it is a terrace cut. So mostly the cut is terrace cut against the height. Sometimes it's down, the upside or downside is kind of able to constrain. Here is a parallel to almost there. So the material will be inserting to the wheels, periphery buckets. So automatically the material will be reaching the middle of the site. From here, the material will be transformed to the here to on the ends. This is also structure, superstructure. The different models are there. This is one other model. See, this is a complete full view of the bucket wheel. This is a phenomenon. The name itself is bucket wheel excavator because of the wheel is a key element and functioning element. Operation of the key is the that's where the bucket wheel. These are the buckets. This wheel is rotating against the uh, bench. What is required to cut? It is a anti-clockwise rotating. You see that it is anti-clockwise rotation. So against the surface area, these are the buckets. These are very, there is a number of buckets are there. So one or other. So the material will be getting inside is here. This is a shell type or non-cell type is also there. Cell type means there is a loaded here itself. Non-cell type, the material will be coming to the center of the wheel. So you can observe the wheel peripheries buckets as well as collection point. So this is the close view of the bucket wheel excavator. Bucket wheel excavator. So now I am going to introducing. This is a continuous excavator which digs and discharge material simultaneously. This type of excavator is widely used in other countries, particularly in Germany. In India, they are used in a Niveli Lignite Corporation, Tamil Nadu. Currently, a feasibility study is being carried out, a study whether this kind of excavator can be used in Rajasthan and Gujarat. So most of the presently already continues there. In, Gujarat Mineral Development Corporation, some Rajasthan is also already established, and the production is also started there itself also. General construction. The mission consists. consists of a series of buckets attached to the periphery of the wheel. This is a basic name that came due to the basic idea is behind this is the why it is called as a wheel excavator means the mission consists of a series of buckets attached to the periphery of the wheel. This is the main nomenclature came to the mission bucket wheel excavator. It is for this reason that it has been given the name bucket wheel excavator. This wheel on rotation digs and cuts the material and simultaneously discharges it onto a conveyor known as a boom conveyor. This wheel is mounted at the top of the boom. The boom is held in position either by hydraulic jocks from the bottom of the boom or by a rope arrangement attached from a suitable position. So this second part you can see that the boom is mounted on top of the boom. There is a you see the figure you can easily understand the by seeing the stream. So this is attached. This is attached. The end of the this is a basic boom. This is a boom. The boom is just like bucket wheel excavator. It's just like a dog line. The boom is a very important portion. Similarly, in shovel also, stick is a major portion. Like here, the boom is attached at the end of the boom. That is a main. If a boom height is increased by the applying this function, so automatically it will be rising from the lower level to high level. So that is here clearly mentioned here. The wheel is mounted at top of the boom. The boom is held in position either by hydraulic jocks from the bottom of the boom or by a rope arrangement attached from a suitable position. So this is the basic structure of the general structure of the bucket wheel excavator is concerned. The boom end opposite of the bucket is placed on the turntable. The boom end opposite of the bucket is opposite to the bucket is a turntable. The bucket consists of there is a one end is a boom bucket is there, another is a turntable is there. So that is nothing but a swinging mechanism for the moving of vehicle in around that one. Here you can be see easily. This is the boom. This is the boom. So this is the turntable. This is the turntable. Boom can be rising up or down or movement and also automatically swinging. So the boom one end is the wheel is there, another end is a swinging that is a turntable. You can say it's a turntable is there. Right. The equipment consists of transfer boom, which discharges the material to the conveyor or to the dumping pits, as the case may be. So depending upon the cutting material, if it is a waste rock, it can be go to the dumping. If the useful, it will be diverted to the some belt conveyor or something utilizing for that for the material can be transported to the other end. The equipment consists of transfer boom, which is discharge the material to the conveyor or to the dumping pit, as the case may be. Where is the transfer boom? The other end. The other end is also transfer boom. So here there is a bucket wheel is there, the boom attachment is there, other end is the turntable. Then this is the transfer. This is the transfer discharging points. These are the discharging other end of the discharging point. So see that is how much distance is from the cutting position to the discharging position. So the equipment consists of transfer boom, which is discharge the material to the conveyor or to the dumping pit, as case may be. Sometimes directly wagon loading is there. Sometimes they will be transferring to the one of the other bench dump yards, because if OB excavation is going, if the mineral excavation is going, that material will be transferred hierarchically to reach the nearby power plants also directly. In addition to this, it has another boom known as counterweight boom also there, where counterweights are placed balancing equipment during operation. This is also one important operation is required. So let's see the one figure clearly. We can understanding that. So let us see this figure. Here, this is the boom. The lifted position is there. It can be lowered and as well as the similar depending upon the movement of the boom. This is the one end is the bucket wheel with periphery buckets. Another end is the turntable. So another is the transferring point. This is the transfer discharging point, the transferring point. Sometimes they will be use a counter position because of the superstructure have to balance the move and while the load is acting, force is acting here. So automatically it may be falling in front or something. To avoid that, the other end, the transferring points that is called the balancing boom is also called. This is a balancing boom, right? In addition to these, they has another boom known as a counterweight boom, where the counterweights are placed to balance the equipment during operation. All these booms are mounted to a turntable, which capable of rotating about the central axis, passing through the center of the turntable. So this is a basic structure construction of the complete bucket wheel excavator. See once again, the machine consists of series of buckets attached to the periphery of the wheel. It is for this reason that is it has been given a name bucket wheel excavator. This wheel on rotation digs the cuts the material and simultaneously discharge it onto a conveyor known as a boom conveyor. This wheel is mounted at the top of the boom. The boom is held in position either by hydraulic jocks from the bottom of the boom or by a rope or arrangement attached from a suitable position. The next, the boom opposite of the bucket is placed on the turntable. The equipment consists of transfer boom, which discharge the material to the conveyor or to the dumping pits, as the case may be. In addition to this, it has another boom known as a counterweight boom, where counterweights are placed to balance the equipment during operation. All these booms are mounted on a turntable, which is capable of rotating about a central axis passing through the center of the turntable. So this is the base construction of the bucket wheel excavator is concerned. Let us go to the next slide. So the mission can be classified into two types. What are the types of classification of the bucket wheel excavators? Um, the mission can be classified into two types. Number one, rail mounted bucket wheel excavator. Another is a crawler mounted bucket wheel excavators. There is a two depending upon the movement of the bucket wheel excavator. They classified into two types. One is a rail mounted bucket wheel excavator. Number two, crawler mounted bucket wheel excavator. The crawler mounted bucket wheel excavators are mostly used in mining projects as against the rail mounted bucket wheel excavator that are rarely used. A similar equipment known as a bucket wheel reclaimer, which is mostly rail mounted, find it applications in material handling projects, ports, and processing plants. So this is the generalized classification based on the mission mounted. These equipments are specified by the bucket sizes. This is the inner volume of the single bucket. What are the periphery in around the periphery? The periphery bucket size placed in periphery of the wheel. The usual sizes are 350, 500, 700, 1137, and 1400 liters. So these are the buckets sizes available in different type of manufacturers. Usually 350 liters. It may divided by you can specific gravity. We'll get the in cages also. So most of them they calculate in volume in liters. So when you are applied the specific gravity, it will come to the kgs: 500, 700, 1137, and 1400 liters. The maximum bucket size of as a 6300 liters is also available. So these are the sizes concerned. So what are the components? Regarding the components is concerned, basic parts, nothing but the parts of the bucket wheel excavators. The equipment consists of the following main components, that are the bucket wheel boom and conveyor, transfer of conveyor and boom, counterweight and equalizer boom, swing or swing system, roofing arrangement, travel mechanism, undercarriage unit, lubrication systems. So these are the general parts of the components of the bucket wheel excavators. So bucket wheel is a one big part. Wheel, boom, and conveyor is another part. Transferring conveyor and boom is one part. Counterweight and equalizer is another part. Swing on system is one mechanism, the one part. Traveling mechanism, undercarriage, lubricate system. So this is a complete groove. Had to maintain different components are there in the system. Coming to one by one, bucket wheel. What is the mean by the bucket wheel? There are three types of buckets are there. There is cell type, the complete it will including cell type. Cellless types are there. Semi-cell type. These are the collection point where the material cut after how it will be reached to the collecting point, depending upon the buckets. Some open buckets are there. Automatically, the material come to centralized point. Sometimes shell type is there, depending on the advantages. One or other is there. Semi-cell types also available in the construction point of view. Buckets are usually rigidly held on the circumference of the circular ring. Buckets are usually rigidly held on the circumference of a circular ring. The circular rings, on the other hand, is mounted on the hub, which keyed to a shaft. So this is the one basic thing. So here I am showing that complete bucket view. So these are the buckets. Against ground, it will be in operation. There is a motor for the particular uh, gear mechanism and attached to the wheel movement. There is another operator is observing everything. Wheel cutting mechanism. Right. See the how the buckets are grounding to the against the ground. So this is the terrace cutting operation very clearly shown here. The earlier which was with this complete nearer view. This is long view. See how they are cutting from bottom to top. This is called as a terrace cut. It can be cut in the uh, down to upper side as well as it's move like horizontally also. So this is the complete view. See that how many core crawlers are there for movement of the superstructure. This is a turntable, very clearly showing here turntable. This is a big boom. So one end is the wheel. Wheel periphery have a number of buckets, different uniform sizes. The ones cut material will be from all here. From there is a belt is there. Belt from through belt, you're going to transfer booming point and also counter weights, balancing weight. Boom is also there. Another hand to reach the material. From there, there will be other transferring to the other section. So this is a complete view of the bacterial excavator. Right. Then, so the line diagram I am showing here. So earlier we see all the images of the photo images. This is the line diagram. So what are you very clearly mentioned here? There is a bucket. The periphery there is a number of buckets are there. The wheel and buckets. This is a boom attached to the hoisting cable, and this is the boom. And the operator can be viewed from here itself. And the other end is a balancing boom for the superstructure. Next, also A-frame, that is the main boom wheel maintenance of the horizontal movement and vertical movements, and transferring of the material from here to the transferring another end. This is for the point to the discharging to the material to the other end. There is a mobile conveyor. It's called as a mobile conveyor. So these are the dimensions. Very clear. 55.5, almost 100 meters. You can transfer for this model. The height of the this is 43 meters. The height is there. The wheel, bucket wheel, dimensions also given. Diameter is a 12.25 meters. From that almost middle, there is a 32 meters middle. That location of two, it can be reached the range of the top range as well as the radius range of the bucket wheel is showing here. So this is a general view of the various line diagram showing here. This is a crane type structure. There is a balancing structure, superstructure, but balancing of from the turntable to right other end, and turntables other end is the cutting mechanism is going on. We see the terrace plus. This is called terrace cut. Is exclusively they mentioned in the bucket wheel excavators only. The key cut is in a just like dragline. Similarly, here you call it as a terrace cut. The driving motor driving system is there. This is a bucket wheel boom, bucket wheel, the crawlers for the turntable movement and every machine will move it from one place to other place. The crane structure, superstructure with various missions, ballastals, wings, etc. Transfer boom, swinging mechanism is there. Undercarriage units along with the various control cabins, etc. Railway wagon, discharge points. The generalized scheme diagram of the bucket wheel excavator is under the operation. So this is the complete view of the line diagram ways. So you can imagine, you cannot understand because the various components are there. So this is a very idealistical for the examination drawing purpose. It will be useful. So once you practice this type of sketches for the examination point to draw the and now name the various parts of the bucket wheel excavators. So another same sketch, we can elaborating some more points here. External threats, environmental hazards, and earth flood, storm, lightning strikes, infrastructure threatening, severe power supply, severe communication, social threats, threatening caused by the surrounding technical systems are there. Next, desired output, nominal capacity, undesired output, noise, vibration, dust. Ground system boundaries, the operators support maintenance and repairs, desired input, electrical energy, power supply voltage, 6 kilowatts. Uh, this required ground slopes. The shell type is how the cell type mechanism, a bucket wheel, bucket cell type buckets, how this function is here. Each bucket is provided with individual cell chutes with wear plates. The chute receive the material from the bucket and discharge it into the inclined plate and ultimately the conveyor belt. So this is the cell type. The cell type have the each individual have their own chutes. So afterwards, each chute will be discharged in the common conveyor belt. Semi-cell type. What is a semi-cell? Here the bucket is provided with a cell chute lined with the wear plates. The chute receives material from the bucket and discharges into the conveyor. The chute is in the form of a traverse inclined plate. The buckets are mounted on the ring-shaped wheel body, and those open their whole area towards the cavity. This is covered on the inside by the so-called annular ring chute. So this is semi-cell type. Some chutes are there with bearing plates. The chute receive the material from the bucket and discharge into the conveyor, similar to the cell type, but some partially storage is facilities there for each cell. The material pick up and enters through a bucket into the ring cavity, which increases the capacity of the bucket and is pressed by the radial components of gravity against the annular ring chute, which is protected by wear plates. The number of buckets may vary from the 8 to 32. The number of buckets may be vary from the 8 to 32. Overall diameter varies from about 6.2 to 17 meters. So revolving at about the 18 to 22 RPM. Revolution very slow in nature because of loading, cutting, and also automatically powering. The otherwise the metal will be speed up the wheel is cause the metal will falling into same place so that you can avoid it immediately. Because of depending upon the that swell factor is also increasing there. So and fill factor is another factors to getting the bucket in fully efficiency working there. So these are the general bucket functions. Cell-less type. This is no individual chutes here. There is a material directly discharging out the common hopper, which is not integral part of the bucket. So this is the other part. The automatically the chutes not their individual buckets. Automatically it will collect it in the some other hopper. Wheel boom and conveyors. The bucket discharges the excavated materials on this conveyor through a rotary plate. The rotary plate helps in allowing the material to flow freely from the bucket to the conveyor. So this is one other function. Once the bucket is discharged the excavated material on this conveyor through rotary plate, the rotary plate helps the allowing the material to fall freely to the bucket to the conveyor. This plate is placed in a inclined to the conveyor so that the material falling on the plates are ultimately transferred to the conveyor. The conveyor is supported totally by the boom structure. The drive is usually employed at the opposite end of the bucket. The top end of the boom contains the bucket wheel and its drive. The top end of boom contains the bucket wheel and its drive. The bottom end is a pin joint on the turntable. There are two design available for this pin joint. In one design, the joint is made such that the whole of the boom along with the bucket wheel and the conveyor can be readily shifted from the turntable, which help in providing more crowding force. The other design does not permit this radial shifting, the different of the model of the crowding nature. Hence, for crowding the whole of the equipment has to be shifted toward the forward direction. The former type is not used in the bucket wheel excavator, made presently because of maintenance problems. The boom is held in position either by the rope shape system, which is attached from the top of the boom, or by the hydraulic jock fitted at the lower end of the boom. These are the basic changes in the latest models. The boom can move up and down by plus or minus 30 degrees. You see that you can observe the error figure also, up to 30 to 30 about the horizontal axis. This is very important for the function is concerned. See that here, easily understand the movement of the buckets. Yes, yes, here is the you can observe. So for example, this is not clear. Go through the other exactly 30 degrees. Yes, here is also not there. Okay, let us see any one example here. For example, if you take it as this example, uh, from center to up to this is 30 degrees, and here to the horizontal to 30 degrees, it can be possible to the uh, movement from the horizontal. So this is one important for the um, bucket wheel excavator wheel movement is concerned. Right? So boom can move up and down plus or minus 30 degrees about the horizontal axis. So not more than that. Turntable. What is the mean by turntable or platform role in the bucket wheel excavator is concerned? This is a solid plate construction carrying the prime mover, house, baluster box, and tower. Located on the tower is the wheel operator's cabin. Prime mover house accommodates the electrical planet. Diesel set with a tank for the power supply in a travel, and the hydraulic planet. Attached to the tower are the wheel boom and the discharge boom. Uh, the assembly is mounted on the platform. So this is the basic function. Cutting geometry. What is the mean by the cutting geometry? This is the two type of cutting. One is a terrace cut and drop cut. Very important. What is the mean by terrace cut? Terrace means from down to up. And drop means from up to down. So these are the two difference between the cutting geometry. Very important. These are the cutting mannerism, cutting movement. You can see also observed in the while, like, after cutting also the shape of the that bench also can observe visualized where the terrace or dropping system. So terrace. This method, the mission is a set so that it can reach the top of the high wall as indicated. The mission is advanced until the wheel cut a thin slice and the boom is swung in an arc. The mission is walked backwards till the wheel can be lowered to cut the next shelf. This message repeated for the next shell. Also, a steady output can be obtained by increasing the swing speed. The slices are thinnest at the bottom and thickest at the top. This is very clearly mentioned. The slices how bottom is the thickest and the top is thick and bottom is the thinnest. So because of the force will be happen in the top of the bench, not in the bottom of the bench. That is very clearly mentioned here. So once again, terrace cut is explained again. In this method, the machine is set that it can reach the top of the high wall is indicated. The machine is advanced until the wheel cut a thin slice, and then the bottom is swung in an arc. The machine is walked backward till the wheel can be lowered to cut the next shell. This message is repeated for the next shell also. A steady output can be obtained by increasing the swing speed. The slices are thinnest at the bottom and thickest at the top. Right, this is very clearly mentioned. Is a figure is showing here. So see the how the cutting and movement of the vehicle also. See that here, the vehicle is stand here, the S2, the position of the S2. This is another S3, some position. So it is a moving, I think 30 degrees from the horizontal to up and down. So that it's a cut, first cut, second cut, third cut, fourth cut. The location of terrace. So one, two, three. This is a dropping system, the drop mechanism. The total height of the cut. Right. Then here we I will clearly mention the first layer, uh, the top to bottom, the third layer, second layer, and first layer. So the more thickness cut in top instead of lower, so that the shape is coming like this terrace shape. Drop cut. The top cut start in the same manner as the terrace cut. Further cuts are made by lowering the and moving the machine back from the back. So this is a dropping system. When the bottom bank is reached, the mist is moved forward to start a new cut at the top. This is usually preferred when the bank is hard soil or soft. You can go through for the dropping cut. So you go either go to the terrace cut or drop cut. These two are methodology by applying the bucket wheel excavator. Then place of application, where you are using this place of application of the bucket wheel excavator. It is used for soft or ore mineral, mostly lignite. This is mostly exclusively meant for the lignite mines. Hard and tough. Hard and tough. Hard and tough. Well fragmented blasted rocks with no or less boulders, having consistency of uniform ground and bank conditions. The hard and tough, well fragmented blasted rock with no or less boulders, having consistency of uniform ground and bank conditions. So these are the very important, since it has a wide radius of excavation, around 40 to 90 meters, with the high and deep cut. The width of the boom exposed more resource and create huge amount of space for the mobile equipment. The slope of the pit is also very stable. The slope of the pit is also very stable condition. It can be used for the selective and thin seam mining. So that is a very important for easy disposal of ore and ore body, ore burden to considerable distance above or below of its working level. It is a very highly efficient excavator for the lignite and soft aluminum. This is a very highlighting most of the this concern. So very high efficient and excavator for lignite soft and alluviums. So sometime you can be used as a reclamation of land also. Same for purpose of the reclamation of the land is also it is applicable. Most of the as for the Indian condition, they were using the lignite areas. So this is the overall picture of the Bakri acid condition. How to calculate the production? This is also one of the important challenge. How to calculate the production? I giving the simple typical problem related to the bucket wheel excavator, so that from that you can easily understand the how bucket production will be calculated. Let us go through the small worked example. Please note down, a dragline is required. A dragline is required uh, to remove. Sorry. This is not for the. It's related to bucket. Similar, there some production calculations there. Uh, so bucket wheel excavators calculation purpose, we are using for purpose of uh, generally bucket wheel excavator have the number of buckets. So number of buckets into fill factor and swell factor multiply the time taken. So these are the can be used for the purpose utilizing the production calculation point of view. So automatically we'll get the number of production details. As according to that one, you can be how much size of a belt conveyor is required. So now I am concluding that one. I summarized. We discussed about the main parts and functions and place of application of bucket wheel excavator. Um, I hope that you are all aware that main parts of mission, particularly the what is a wheel and wheel periphery buckets and boom and turntable and also uh, balancing of the boom and also the discharging conveyor from that to other material transportation mechanism. From this, I will go to concluding. So I give a small question here for the related to the today class. That is a quiz for purpose of examination point of view. The boom can be moved. The boom can be moved uh, up and down by dash about the horizontal axis. So the is it 40 30 degrees or 40 degrees, 50 degrees, plus or minus 60 degrees. So the boom has to move from the horizontal is plus or minus 30 degrees. Whether you go to down 30 degrees and up to not more than that. So because of limitation of the boom, because the boom angle is maintained by the superstructure, the ropes are there. So that they have limitation. Otherwise, you have to balance is required to other counterpart of boom balancing boom is required. So this is the point of view. They're fixed into plus or minus 30 degrees from the horizontal. So generally, the most of the questions is coming to the generally the construction point of view. Bucket will excavator draw a simple line diagram and mention the parts is the your assignment. Make it a note. And so generally in board examination, we'll be waiting to list the main parts, functions, and place of application of the bucket excavators. So with this, I'm going to conclude the today class. Thank you very much.